Hello everyone and welcome to Grow As We Go.
Hello everyone, it's Ashley.
It's Diana.
Hey, it's Angie.
And I'm Fatima.
So today we're going to be talking about our bodies and all things our bodies. When we learned about what? When we discovered periods, boobs, our vagina, all those things that we have been told that we should feel uncomfortable about, we're talking about it. So get ready.
So get your popcorn, because...
Get ready. Because it's about time that we destigmatize these conversations and we have them openly, freely, comfortably with each other. I think it's so important to have these conversations because we all have bodies. We all go through very similar things. And I think it's so important to relate to that because there's so much we can learn from each other, you know?
Exactly. Do you know when, like, how did you guys know how to put a tampon on? That's my question. Because that was such a foreign concept to me. I had to use YouTube for that. I was legit, staring at the video and, my vagina at the same time. And I was like, what the fuck?
I still don't know how to use one.
Well, I remember we were in your restroom. Oh, my God. I remember when I tried to put a tampon on for the first time. We went to Dan.
Because we were going to swim.
We went to Dan's pool.
Oh, I remember this.
And Dan, she gave me one, and all of y'all were outside. This is high school, right?
That was
senior year or something.
It was high school.
Yeah.
Were we outside the door?
Yeah, you guys were outside, and you guys like, just put it in. And I was like, what? But I think I did it. Did I do it? I think I did it.
I think you did.
I think you did, but I don't remember.
But there was no point, honestly, because you don't bleed in the pool.
Is that a myth, though? Is that true or is that a myth?
No, that's true. If you take a bath, then your blood doesn't come out.
Yeah.
You're cool.
But I think that's been that. I feel like that has been the story. Because I remember telling my other friends, telling them how to put a tampon in and, being outside the restrooms and, helping them, from college. So I wonder if that's, a universal, that's how everybody learns to put a tampon in.
I remember when I think I put my first tampon in for a volleyball game because it was one of my first days and we had a game and you're wearing spandex and stuff. So I just remember I couldn't put on my pad because I was really heavy and you could see it straight through my spandex bro, a diaper. And I was like, dude, damn, how do I hide this, Which is fucking unfortunate that we even feel that we have to hide it. First of all, that's issue number one. So I was like, okay, I'm going to put on a tampon. And then I remember I was with my friends and some of them were in the stall with me, watching me, I was like, where is the hole? And they're like, angle it. And I'm trying to angle it. And it was just a whole show, dude, trying to get this in. And I just remember I couldn't do it. I don't think I did it. And I tried, it took me 5 attempts on different occasions to put on a tampon. And it just didn't.
But you finally got it.
Yeah, we finally got it. That's what
best choice of my life.
I've tried to do it twice and I still can't do it.
It's hard. For sure.
It's hard.
I do have a question for you guys. So when did you guys learn about periods? Was it when you got your period, was it super unexpected? Did you have an idea what it was? Tell me about your experience, because I'm sure we all have different, but probably in the same some same experiences.
I don't remember exactly when I started, but I do remember me having it and my mom telling me oh, your sister showed you how, right? And at the time I had no idea what she was talking about. And I was like, yeah, she did. And then later on I was like, wait, how the fuck am I, what? And I was so embarrassed to ask her. I was like, I'm not even comfortable doing this. What is this? And I think that's when I started using pads. But I have so many period stain stories, bro. Pobrecita. In middle school, dude, that was such a nightmare. We'll talk about that later on, but yeah.
My mom has always been very open about that and has always taught me make sure this is gonna happen eventually, don't know when, can happen around this time.
When did you have this talk?
Yeah, when did you how old were you when you first got it?
I was first, second grade.
What?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, first and second grade.
That's so good.
Because she didn't tell me specifically, but I kind of know, you bleed. But I thought you bled for the rest of your life, every single day. I didn't know it lasted. I didn't know it was every month. But I knew what a period kind of was at the time. And then I got my first period when I was 10 years old. It was the most traumatic.
Wait, is that
event for me.
fifth
How old are you when you're 10? What grade are you in?
Grade?
Yeah,
I think that's fifth grade.
Fourth grade.
Fourth grade.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was in fifth grade.
It
I was in
sucks so bad.
sixth, I think.
Yeah, me too. 6.
Oh no, it sucks so bad for me because, I mean, my cousin, she was 2 years older than me. She didn't even have it at that time. So I feel that if she had it, I would be like more comfortable. Because I'm like, oh, she has it, then I have it now, you know? But since she didn't have it, like, I was like, oh my God, I have it. None of my friends had it. So I've always felt like I had to hide it at school. I always had to, like, quietly open my pad in the restroom. I was like, ugh, okay, other side now, other side. At that time, I was tall. I was the tallest one in my class. So I grew up out of nowhere. My boobs grew out of nowhere. So it was, like, awkward.
Yeah, I think it was the same thing for me. I was, like, in fifth grade, and, like, I didn't know what was happening, and I was like, what the heck? And I remember we went to Costco. I was at Costco, and then my mom, like, we came home, and I was like, what's happening? And then she told me, but, like, she told me, like, when it was happening, you know, like, I didn't like get prepared.
What did she tell you?
She was just basically the basic, like, oh, like, this is gonna happen to you every month, this is how you do it, this is what you do, like, basically, like, how you use, like, a pad and stuff, and then, like, how, like, what you're supposed to do. But that was pretty much it. And she's like, yeah, it comes every once a month, da 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 da. But yeah.
Do you feel like it would have been better if she would have told you, or someone giving you the talk beforehand, or like you think it was okay that it was in the, like, when it happened?
I don't know. That's a good question. I feel like maybe I would have been a little bit scared if I would have known before, because like you're anticipating, like, when is this going to happen to me? When is this going to happen to me? When is this going to happen to me? But I feel like eventually that feeling is, like, it comes eventually. For example, like, I knew some friends who didn't have their period till, like, 9th or 8th grade. So, like, they knew that it was going to come to them because of, like, obviously, like, of the girls that they're surrounded with. Yeah. But I don't know. I thought it was fine, but I feel, yeah, I don't know how to answer
I don't know. To me, I feel like it would have been different. Because I think me knowing before helped me. Because I feel like I would have been, like, traumatized. Like, what is happening to my body? Like, what is this? And I was 10 years old. You're still little at 10 years old. So I think me knowing what it was, and I'm just like, I was kind of prepared for that.
I got my period, I think it was 6th grade, and at my in my school district, 6th grade was still elementary school. So, like, I wasn't in middle school yet. I was still in elementary. And I remember the year before 5th grade, did you guys watch the video?
Oh, I think I watched it
Yes.
in 4th grade.
5th grade.
Wow. I watched it in 5th grade, and I remember they gave us a pad. They kind of explained it.
Really?
And I remember it was just, like, a very awkward day. And I just remember I had so many questions, but, like, I didn't know how to ask because everybody. I remember the feeling of everybody just watching this video, like all the girls, because obviously they separate you based on boys and girls. I just remember looking around and just being like, damn, like, I want, what's this or what's that? But everybody was just so awkward. Like, it was just so awkward.
I think because they knew the talk was coming.
Yeah. And then I remember I go home and I remember me being so excited to tell my mom. Like, I remember I ripped that goodie bag out of my backpack. I was like, Mom, look what they gave me at school. And she was just like, oh, like, okay. And I was like, look, this pad and this deodorant and, like, this.
The deodorant.
And, like, yeah, like, I was so excited. And I remember her, like, she never really gave me that talk, like, about periods. She just kind of, like, was like, I'll tell you when it's time. But I remember me being so curious about it and be like, why can't I know now? You know, like, I just learned about it. Like, why can't I know now? It's like, tell me. Like, and I remember just being so excited to get my period. And then the day I got my period, my mom was working. She was working early, so I think my someone wasn't taking me to school. I just remember me bleeding, and I'm just crying, like, I was on the toilet because I had to go to school, and I'm just crying, bleeding, because my mom just put on a pad, but it's because I still had so many unanswered questions that I was supposedly gonna get answered when she was there, and I'm like, dang, so I have to go throughout school not knowing what's going on. And, like, I was just so, like, anxious. Like, what is this, you know?
Yeah.
So for me personally, I think having this conversation earlier on and just having not in a conversations like, I'll tell you when you're older or, like, when you're ready. Because what do you mean? Like, I feel like when it comes to our bodies, like, what do you need to be ready for? This is, like, it's your period. You know, it's something that your body kind of goes through. Like, I don't think there's anything sexual about your period. I feel like that's what made me, I started to realize, like, well, unfortunately, periods are also, like, sexualized, too, you know?
Think
and
so?
I feel like, well, because they just assume, like, you know, you're a woman now, and blah, blah, blah. So, like, you shouldn't know this. You shouldn't know this about your body because you're so kid. Like, it's gonna, like, take away your kidness. Like, you'll learn when you're older when it's time. But, like, it's your body, you know? Like, you should know these things about what your body's gonna go through. And it shouldn't be have such a stigma.
I think what scares our moms most is because at that time is when we could have babies. I think that's, you know, like there's creepy men out there. Many little girls get raped and stuff, and like that's something. I feel like that's just something, a thought that goes on through their heads. I know my mom would say like, it's just, I'm scared. Like, what if this happens or what if that happens? You know.
I know, which sucks that like because of other people, we not like it's
exactly
kind of, like, put on us. You know, like you shouldn't know because other people might cause you harm.
It's almost like they talk about it as like having sex, that concept.
Yeah.
You know how like there's a certain age where like, well, my mom didn't talk to me about that, but other families I would assume.
Yeah.
But like how you said, I think periods are, but maybe there, of course, there's also reason to not tell one beforehand because maybe they become anxious or anticipate, or maybe that doesn't help them. But I don't know, like the balance between that, you know, because like a child, like I don't want to be told that, honestly, because that's gonna freak me out. I'm gonna be like,
that's
what, I bleed?
Yeah.
But I think about it, I'm like, why are we freaked out about it though? Like what's so freaky? If we,
because I think it's like
to your kid from the beginning and explain it in a non-freaked out way, then there's we get freaked out because there's a stigma and we feel it. I feel like as a kid you feel it just by the way people talk about it.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think
I
it's kind of
cried.
more of like, I think it's more of like you're feeling that like your childhood is slipping out of your fingers in a way, because it's like you're going to experience stuff that like all adults or all adult ladies experience too. So I think it's just kind of like the thought that like, or like moms kind of feel like the thought that their children are not going to, you know, be children, I guess, if that makes sense. Like it's kind of hard for them to grasp that ideology. That ideology saying like, oh, my daughter is gonna feel the same things that I feel every month. But that's a good question to like bring into the fact like how we will kind of reciprocate that information for our future generations, you know.
Dude, like me reflecting back to my times where I've gotten like the period stains like triggers me, because there's so many times that this happened, and it's like there'd be times where I would like get up and I just like feel that I got stained, and the chair would have had blood, and then like someone else would sit on there, and I'd be like, fuck, like what I don't know what to do. Or like there was one time this is the worst time. I don't know why I didn't frequently change my pad. Like, what's up with that? I don't know. But there was this one time where I didn't, and I was going to this after school program and I hadn't changed it, I think. And I just remember getting up and like there's just like spot like all the way down to my pants. And I remember I was like walking around because we're doing this activity where we're walking around, and nobody told me this, and I was literally just walking with like period all over my pants, and I thought I was like fine, and like it was traumatic for me for sure. Like
Did you find out when you got home, or how did you find out?
Yeah, no, I found out I think when I went to the restroom, and I was just so embarrassed. I didn't want to be outdoors. I didn't want to do anything, and I'm pretty sure I got making fun of for that too, so I'm not even, there was no support that I had.
I can't believe like a girl teacher didn't say at least something.
I know.
Yeah, no.
I just remember in high school and middle school, like every time someone's on their period, like they'll tap you. Hey, can you check me when I get up? and you'd get up all casual. You get up all casually, like, and you'd be like, hey,
like, I think I remember you asking us that.
I still do that. I mean, I do that a lot, especially in my job, because I wear white shorts. So we're like, is it good?
Damn. Did anybody else stain their stuff like at school or anything?
I think one time in like middle school, I said I sat on ketchup.
That's a good excuse.
Like, no, that's ketchup.
Oh, it's ketchup.
Because
they're like, Ashley,
it was such a small thing, and I'm like, oh my god, I sat on ketchup, like, oh damn it.
Knowing damn well she
went away with my day.
I never really stained myself that often. It was always like at home. The next morning I would have like stain.
I'd light up my bed, bro.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Have you guys like stained yourself when you're sleeping the next
all
day?
the time,
like, dude.
I would used to like, oh, this is, I'm not even gonna say I'm gonna just say it because I shouldn't be like, this is so gross. Like, it's not gross. It's normal.
Yeah.
I used to have to put on a pad like from the front of my underwear all the way to the tag, dude.
Yeah, me
and then I would still get it all over my back. I would wake up and it's all over my back.
I think that's why, because it traveled through your pad. That's why.
Yeah, it traveled up my But it would be soaking, dude. I'd have my sheets were all bad, like my pants, my everything. I was so heavy.
Maybe also the way you position yourself when you're sleeping is probably like an opening.
Yeah, I think it was just slipping, sliding everywhere. So I have certain period undies, or I remember I had to get certain period undies that were tighter, so that way my pad wouldn't move. It was just like close to my butt.
Dude, honestly, tampons have saved my existence. Like pads, just I used to get stained frequently, and like they always slip and slide, and like there's always that like, oh my god, am I gonna blah blah blah? Like it was, and did this ever happen to you guys when you guys use pads? Like when you stand up and then like you just feel everything like just seeping through the fucking pad from the sides?
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, once I started using tampons, I said goodbye pads. But I understand that some people like they don't want to use pads because I don't know, they're scared. I mean, they don't want to use tampons because they're scared, but I think for sure tampons really changed. Or at least they made the whole like period thing like
it's much easier
for me. Yeah.
Less bloody. Yeah. It wasn't a bloodbath.
Less messy.
Real question, did your guys' mom not want you to use tampons? Like, I'm trying to think if it's like a Mexican mom thing.
Not for like me. If anything, they wanted, I remember it was at my sister's house and they were all going to the pool. And I was like, oh, no, I can't. I'm on my period. And then my mom and my sister, just put a tampon on. And I was like, no, I'm so scared. Like, if anything, it was me that I was so scared. I was like, I think I was like freshman year, sophomore year. And I was like, no, I'm so scared. Like, I don't want to do it. But yeah, at least that was from my experience.
I know my mom was like, oh, if she uses tampons because she already lost her virginity.
Yes.
I was like,
my mom did not. I remember my mom did not want me to use tampons. She'd be like, I had to hide it. I had to hide that I wanted to use tampons in high school. Like I had to hide them and use them like without her knowing, because she was like, no, estás muy chiquita. Like, ¿cómo que estás usando de eso? Like, blah, blah, blah. And my mom, I had to hide it, unfortunately.
That's so weird.
I know. I think it's weird. Even though it's like something that's essential for us to use. Yeah. It's just, I'm like, just because it goes up there doesn't mean...
Yeah, I feel like it's like the whole attaching that to sex and like, no, you're not gonna be, you know?
Which is like so shitty too, because like, damn, like something for my health. Yeah. Like I can't even use it because... Again, it's sexualized.
Yeah, I don't know if they. Yeah, I don't know if they think it's like, oh, if she's comfortable having that up there, she's gonna be comfortable like sleeping with somebody. Like, I don't know. I just saying like.
I wonder what goes
I think
what
head. What my sister and my mom thought is, I think it's more like practicality. Yeah. Like what's more like, I guess, is that the right word? Like what's more practical, easier, beneficial?
I just remember my mom one time. I was asking her for a pad, I think, and she has some in her bathroom, and I saw tampons, and I was like, oh, what about a tampon? She was like, no, los pads. And I was like, oh, okay, but that's about it. But it seemed like she was giving me that vibe.
What about that one? What about I want that one, Mom.
In the chocolate store. What about
those look fun.
Like, no. This one.
Have you guys tried that, what is that? The cup?
Oh, the Diva Cup?
Oh, the Diva Cup? I have not tried it, but I do want to.
I want to get into it, but I don't know. I don't think
I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about it.
I don't know if I'm going to be messy with it, you know?
Yeah.
Because I feel like when pull out's going to be like...
It's definitely better for the environment and stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like, I've tried to, like... I'm not going to say I've tried it, but, like, I thought about it, but I'm like, I don't know if I can, like, do that.
But also, too, I remember me not knowing anything about the Diva Cup, and I remember asking someone, they'd be like, ew. So, like, automatically, I got to know the bad stuff about it, the quote-unquote bad stuff about a Diva Cup, and, like, before I even got to know what a Diva Cup was. So I feel like that kind of, like, made a foundation for me, laid a foundation that I always thought Diva Cup, bad, nasty. Don't use that. And I never really gave it a shot. But I definitely do, now that I'm more open-minded, I do want to look into it, especially because it's super, like, I heard it's better for the environment, things like that.
Maybe because I'm like thinking like I think that I like let go of so much blood, I'm like that shit's gonna be overflowing, but I feel like in reality once you see it and it's like not that much and you're like, oh, it's not that bad. But I think
saw
in my
study
mind
on that.
I think in my mind I'm kind of more like that shit's gonna be like to the brim, like it's gonna be packed and it's like gonna look like a murder scene, like washing, like I don't know. I don't know, that's just me.
Can we talk about the symptoms though? Like feeling pregnant,
oh my God.
looking pregnant.
Oh my God. I, unfortunately, growing up, I got the worst period cramps. Like, and I remember it started in middle school. And I remember there was this one time I got my period in middle school. And by second period, I was like in the nurse's room, like sweating, pale, wanting to throw up, like as if I would just want to throw up. I was pale, sweating, had a fever. I remember my sister, She was so mean. I won't forgive her for this. She had college. She was in college and it wasn't in school. So that my mom was working and they're like, okay, like, couldn't your sister come pick you up? And I was like, yeah. So I called her. She's like, I just woke up and like, Angie, you just got your period. Like, it's not even that bad. Like, you're going to wait. Dude, I'm over here like passed out on the chair, like dying, like sweating. And I pick her up and I remember me just looking at her and being like, I hate you. Like, I hate you. I remember I didn't talk to her for a whole day because I was like, you let me sit on that damn uncomfortable ass chair when I'm passing out because of my period. But she, you know, like, it's just like, you're just on your period. Like, you're fine. Yeah. And I would throw up. It was a constant struggle to me where I had to leave school every time.
Does that have to do with your hormones?
I have no idea.
I don't know because I get really bad cramps too because it, like, even seeing things, smelling certain things would make me so nauseous. I remember one time my cramps were so bad. My sister's watching My Strange Addiction. It was some girl that was drinking nail polish and I couldn't watch it. I was like, dude, turn it off. It's gonna make me throw up right now. I was like, turn it off. Like, oh my god, it's just horrible. That's and then crazy. Going to the restroom when you have cramps.
I think when I started college, that's when I started getting like really, really, really bad cramps. But like once every, like not like consistently. I think normal.
Once every 3 months.
Like normal, yeah. And so I remember the one time that I had really, really bad cramps. I was in class. It was a math class, and I got up and I went to the restroom, and I literally was just like sitting on the toilet, like, cause that was like the best thing, like for me, like when I have really bad cramps, like when I sit on the toilet, like that position that like you like cuddle, that
crunch, like
yeah,
huddle down.
And so I remember I was there, and I remember like I had class after that too, and like I missed this like it was a math class that was like super like important and stuff. And then I was like, and then I was so far from my dorm. So like, I was like, damn, am I even going to make that walk from this restroom to my dorm? And I was like, I don't know what to do. So I was just like chilling on the restroom for like an hour, just there, just hanging out until like it all passed. And I was like, you know what? F it. Like, I'm not like, my day is over. Like, I'm just going to go home and chill. And like, but I remember that was like, I think I have like a couple episodes where I can vividly remember like how bad they were. And that's like one of them. It's like, that's terrible.
It just sucks knowing that like your period could take you out from doing what you gotta do for a whole day.
That's the biggest thing that's so annoying, because it's like, you're like, okay, I'm gonna be so like, especially that day, I was like, okay, I'm gonna be so productive. I'm gonna do this, and it's just like such a buzzkill, because it's like your body is like. I remember Snapchatting you guys. I remember I was telling you like, I'm so upset about this, but then you're like, it's like fine, like. Your body, like, it's like, you guys were like, we understand, and it just sucks. Like, your body's just like, nope, not today.
Have you guys ever been in a situation where you feel like if you tell someone like it's just period cramps, they're gonna be like, oh, it's just period cramps, like you're not sick?
I don't know who it was, but some girl was like, I don't know, I don't believe in cramps. Like, I feel like it's just in your head. She's like, I don't have them. And I was like, well, not every girl has them. Like, unfortunately, some of us do. And I wish it was in my head. Because if it was in my head, I would be able to control it and not have cramps. Yeah. But that's not the situation here. I have cramps. She's like, I don't believe in it. And I was like, I wanted to slap her so bad. Like, oh, my God. Just thinking
I'm hurting. I feel like maybe guys, I think they get a little bit awkward about the subject. So they're kind of more like, oh, period cramps. Oh, like they shut down. They're like, oh, okay, yeah.
Like, oh, okay. Yeah, you're good.
like, stop talking. All right, I get it.
Like, they're not like, oh, damn, I'm sorry. They're like, oh, okay.
Dude, I remember the other day I was having like major cramps, and you know how you go through those weird positions? They just feel good.
Yeah.
Leg up this here, one time,
like, all twisted.
Yeah. This one time I was talking to my dad standing up, and then you know how sometimes they just like be coming out of nowhere. I like twitched, and I was like, oh,
it's a contraction.
And he was like, what happened? And I was like leaning over, and I wasn't talking for like a good 5 minutes, and I was like, hold on. And that was because you have to like let it pass. You have to let it pass. And then I was like, it's because I'm on my period. And he was like, oh, he was like,
like, oh, I could relate.
No. I know.
Oh man, I feel you.
I remember when I got like a couple months into my period, I guess, I was like so flat chested. Like I had like I was literally a freaking whiteboard. No like way. I was so flat chested. I remember.
It's like, damn, double D.
And I remember girls like used to like bully me like in like 5th grade and 4th grade, like, oh, you're so flat chested, you have no boobs. And I'm like, what? Like, I can't do anything about this. Like I'm like, damn, like I literally was flat chested last year. Like, what happened? Like, why do I have boobs now?
What is this?
For me, it was the opposite because I obviously got my period when I was 10. So I got boobs and like everybody would be like, oh my God, you have boobs. Like dudes would always be staring, especially like boys. So it's kind of like, oh my gosh, she has boobs. And then like now I'm like kind of flat. So it's kind of like, where did they go? You know, they didn't keep growing. I grew into them.
I remember my neighbor got her period before me and she started wearing bras and she'd be like, yeah, like I got a bra. And I remember it was 5th grade and I begged my mom to take me to Target to get a bra. I was like, please, I want a bra. She's like, no tienes nada ahorita, no tienes que poner un nuevo bra. I was like, she's like, aquí están tus corpiños. And I was like, no, mom, I want one with padding. So I remember I got this little bra with padding. I remember it didn't fit me, but I wanted to be like, damn, like, I want a bra. Like, what?
That's funny.
Dude, no.
Now I hate
you know
them.
What I did? I didn't even need a bra just like you. And I ended up, I don't know how I got one. And I got one, but I would
Tissue
stuff
paper?
It. I would stuff it.
So many girls.
Dead.
So
But you got it
many-
in public?
Yes, dude. So many girls in my middle school, you could just see the tissue paper in their boobs.
Yeah.
Sometimes they would be coming out and be like,
No, stop.
Hey,
Be like, hey.
You push them, it's like, you can like,
yeah,
I know the
especially-
crunch. I was gonna ask, like, when did you guys ever hear about birth control, or was that like a thing talked about, or like?
I didn't know about birth control until high school because I don't know who was taking it. Or no, I think we learned it in our Avid class. I remember my Avid teacher mentioned it.
Oh yeah, Miss
somehow.
Navas.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I
Our
was like,
teacher.
oh. And then I started, because I like to watch like educated videos on YouTube and stuff, and I came across like, oh, that birth control is not only for like obviously like avoiding to have babies, but also for like hormonal imbalancement, like, or for like period cramps and
There's
stuff.
so many uses.
There's
for
so
birth
many,
control.
yeah.
I remember I had no business watching this, but I remember in middle school I grew up watching like 16 and Pregnant or whatever that show was. Or like Teen Mom.
We love the
swear to
tea.
God,
That's why.
I had no business watching that in middle school, but I think that show, like, I learned a lot about like, oh, that's not what I want, you know, and like I think that's like, I think they would talk about like certain terms in that show. But I think in terms of like birth control, I think I was same as Fatih, like I didn't learn about it till like sophomore and junior year. And then that's when I learned, like, you can use it for more than just preventing child's.
I honestly didn't even learn it in high school or college. I think I watched a video, or maybe Angie, you told me about it, but besides that, I didn't learn it in school. I remember you told me that you're taking it for your cramps, and I was like, what, you can do that? Like, I thought it was just like for baby purposes.
I remember me having really bad cramps, and I don't remember who it is brought it up to me, but they're like, dude, birth control like helps you with your cramps. And I remember being like, damn, what? Like, I didn't know that either. And I remember me looking it up, watching YouTube. Honestly, YouTube was like, I looked everything up on YouTube. I would watch videos about girls in cramps. Like, I remember I used to watch videos on how girls took care of themselves down
Period
there. I used to watch
hacks or whatever.
Yeah, like I would look up what products people used, or like, I remember people were like, get a mirror. People would be like, get a mirror, look at yourself, like study that. And I would watch videos of people talking about their vaginas, and like, because I was just like, I don't know nothing. I didn't even know we had 3 holes until I was like old. Like, what? And then I just remember me wanting to get on birth control, and the doctor mentioned it. My mom was like, no, like she's too young. Like, but they're like, no, this is gonna really help your daughter. Like, if she's having severe cramps like this.
I remember you
like,
telling us
if
this.
she's having severe cramps like this, like, she should get on birth control. And I remember my mom not really liking the idea, and obviously this was in high school, and I didn't get on birth control until college, because thankfully college, like, you don't need to have insurance, you don't need to use your own insurance, you could just use insurance from your college, and they don't tell your parents or anything, even though I was 18 already at the time. And so I got birth control prescribed through my college, and it completely helped with my cramps. Like, the side effects of birth control for me were I was very moody in the beginning while my hormones were balancing, but after that my skin cleared. Like, I didn't really have acne. My cramps were a lot better. Yeah, and I took the pill, and I remember me having to hide my birth control when I would go home on the weekends from college, because I was so scared that my mom was gonna see it, and I would have to explain. And also I had a boyfriend at the time, so I like, sex wasn't something I talked about with my parents or like I kept hidden. So I just wanted to avoid it completely, you know?
Wait, did she find out that you're taking birth control?
Oh, she ended up finding out, and I told her like, Mom, it's because of I think she saw it, and she's like, ¿Qué es esto? And I was like, birth control. She's like, why are you taking this? And I was like, Mom, like, I do it for my cramps. I am hurting. Like, I passed it at Target, Mom. Like, I obviously need this. And she was like, okay, like, yeah, I understand. And I was like, it's a low dosage. Like, it's not, she just thought like it would, one, I was too young, and two, like the myth about, or I don't know if it's a myth or what is the truth about this, but like having, not being able to have babies in the future, or it like affecting my body in a negative way. And I was just like, Mom, I need help now though. Like, you know, I'm hurting.
Everybody has their own different experiences, and sometimes you have to find like the perfect birth control for you, because like your hormones, it can like lead to mood swings, and then you're like, this is not me. And so like you're like, this is like, I'm like, you have, I think you have to find the perfect birth control for you.
I think when birth control causes for you to be infertile is when you're consistently changing types of birth control. Because I don't know who I was talking to, but I guess this girl, she got onto birth control, and her body did not react well to it. So her doctor made her go on another birth control, but it was very back to back. It was like 5 different birth controls back to back, and it completely messed her up.
Wow.
So I feel like doing it very like back to back is what affects you.
There's definitely like a right and wrong way to do it. And so I always say just consult with your doctor, and speak up, I guess, if you don't feel like, if you're noticing that you're not yourself, and like obviously you want to be yourself, like speak up and say, you know, yo, like this is not for me.
And there's also X, Y, and Z. And usually your nurse or your doctor they're very patient with you, and they'll help you, like, okay, like if this is doing this, like let's try this one. This one might be has more of this or less of that, so maybe that might help you. And I just think it just know that birth control is a process. It's gonna take a lot of time for your body to adapt to it, so be patient with it. I remember the doctor telling me, like, at least do it for 3 months so that way your body regulates, and if you're still having X, Y, and Z symptoms, then we'll switch it up. And I remember being like, okay. And the first time around had a good birth control, and I that was good. And then the second time I waited out for 4 months, and it was just like, no.
Should we like talk about hair?
I was literally about to say that. Like, I didn't know that you're supposed to trim. No one told me that.
Oh, I did.
Growing
up.
So
me neither, but I mean, I looked at me and I'd be like, damn, I need a trim.
I remember being like, is this supposed to, because I remember my mom saying, you can't shave it, you can't touch it.
What?
Like, let it be. And I remember being like, but it's like, what is this? Like, you know, it's like long, and I was young.
Oh no, my mom always told me, like, you need to fix yourself down there. Like, you need to do that. You need to make sure it's clean, blah, blah, blah. Like, the bikini area when you bring a bathing suit and stuff. Like, she always told me to, like, keep it.
I remember in middle school, my friends, I think PE in middle school, like, the PE class is just when everybody would talk about anything and everything, because I feel like that's
in the locker room?
Yeah, that's where I talked about all my, like, stuff with, like, my friends and stuff. And we were like, oh, like, so what do you do down there? And then we were like, oh, like, we're supposed to, like, trim and stuff. And then like, we all talked about it.
You know what I used to do, talking about down vaginas? You know how, like, sometimes it releases an aroma? At least when I was younger, it did. And to mask that, I used to, like, put perfume around, and I used just like,
oh my God.
I was like, it's cool. Now I'm good, but like, when I was younger, I just didn't. Nobody talked to me about this, like, nobody. And I was like, why, you know? And I was just like, all right, perfume it up.
I remember people after PE I would see them spray it, and I remember being like, my mom told me not to put nothing down there.
You're not even supposed to, like, shit up water up there, because it's like, it messes you up. Your vagina cleans itself.
Right. Not even like washing it with like anything. You're supposed to wash it with just water. I use just water.
Yeah.
I use feminine product, and I know it's not good. I heard it's not good for you.
I feel like there's a whole bunch of myths. I remember people was like, oh, if you eat pretzels, that means that your vagina smells. And I'm like, bro, I fucking love pretzels. What do you mean?
And you know what I think, though? What is true? Your water. If you drink water,
100%.
You will be fine.
Yeah.
Like, I notice a difference when I'm not intaking the amount of water that I know I should.
Going back to the shaving real quick, I remember I was just I was so confused as to when I'm supposed to shave. And I used to get so frustrated because whenever I shaved, like it leave like the black spot or like it was like a dark around there. You know what I mean? It's just like the armpits. It still happens to me actually. But that's why like I don't know. This isn't TMI. I mean, this whole fucking episode is like talking about vaginas. But that's why I don't like shave completely, at least frequently, because I find that it's very like it gives that shadow. Do you guys have that like frustration too? And I remember when I was younger, I used to get so frustrated because with bathing suits, I thought it wasn't cute to like have that little shadow going on. I used to be so embarrassed. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be my bikini. I would want to do like shorts. Like I was so about that.
I remember one time I was at a pool and I was younger, and I remember I was shaved the sides, but I didn't shave everything. And I remember some of like I was young, so my pubic hairs were showing, like being like, shit, like how do you, like do you like what the hell? And especially
what
too,
happened?
Going these fucking Barbie pussy ass fucking underwear, bro. Can we talk about that shit? Victoria's Secret, I'm sorry, nobody has that vagina, bro. My thongs be slipping, covers one lip. Let's be real.
I mean, some vaginas it does fit. Like mine, that's what I use, Victoria's Secret. But
the thongs, the seamless thongs? You tell me that don't slip
no,
slide.
I don't wear thongs. No, I don't wear those thongs.
Like, I'll be walking in jeans and, like, I don't know where my jeans be, like, all up on my coochie. I'm like, huh? Like, this
even the frustration with like when you're going to the gym with your leggings and like talk about, I used to do this all the time where like if I was having shorts or something, I would like pull up, give myself a fucking wedgie and like have like a thong so that like it doesn't show. Like that's so not
I remember you did
like,
that
I
in
should
high
just
school.
let my fucking underwear show.
Wait,
did that in high
you would
school.
pull your
Yeah, we were
your butt crack?
Yeah. I remember we were doing powder puff practice. You were like, does my underwear show? And I was like, no. I was like, cover your shirt covers it. She's like, I don't know. And she was just literally pulling up her underwear like to the max. And I was like, Diana, it's gonna be so uncomfortable. She's like, oh, I don't want my underwear to show.
Dude. Can the audience please like let us know that I'm not the only one that does that? I mean, did that because I don't do that anymore.
I think it's just all that like we do stuff because we don't know that there's more to that, you know. And I think that's like it sucks that we have to like be doing these things without having the knowledge, you know. And that's why I think it's important that we always like stay educated and I don't know, Google. It's like.
Or even
like,
like
how am I supposed to Google shit? I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good point. Or I guess like speak up about like your issues. Like I don't know.
Honestly, I was just so angry about anything that had to do with us trying to hide our period. I hated it. So I didn't give a fuck if I was in class and had to go to the. I was not the one to like hide my pad in my shirt. I walked out of class with my pad in my motherfucking hand. I was like, I'm going to the bathroom, bitch. I didn't give a fuck. Like, I did not care.
And you
I was
know
like,
what?
why am I hiding
good.
it?
Yeah,
For what?
That's good.
Like, we all have our period. Like, why am I like, or hey, do you have a pad? Do you have a pad? Yes, I have a pad here. And it wasn't like, put it through your notebook. Give me the pad. Like,
I think
I'm tired of hiding this.
I think it has to do with like the whole concept in general. Like it's taboo.
And I was like, oh my gosh, she's got a period. I remember in 5th grade, I would get bad rashes from like shaving my armpits. And so one time I didn't shave for like a whole week because I wanted to because I had a bad rash. I remember I was playing with Vivi, actually, our friend Vivi. It was like 5th grade. Oh my god, a long time ago. But I remember I was in the monkey bars and like I remember I looked and I was like, oh my god. And like I had armpit hair and like I just went running to the restroom. And then Vivi was like, Fatih, you okay? Like, are you okay? Like, what's wrong? And I was like, I'm okay. She's like, why'd you run away like that? And I was like, oh, I don't know. I had to go to the restroom. And it was like, I didn't know what to say, even though she was a girl, but I knew she didn't have a period or was growing armpit hair yet. Oh. So I was like, I didn't feel comfortable saying it.
I remember me just pulling on it when I was like little and like it growing. I remember being like, what the heck is this?
Dude, no, I remember I had no idea what armpit hair was. Like I didn't know that was a thing. And like when I was younger, I remember I was just like I had a bunch of deodorant on, I guess. And like honestly, thinking back, I never even looked at my armpit, and this is why this happened. Like I went like this, and then my brother was right next to me. He was like, "Ew!" He was like, "Dad, look at your armpit." And I just remember looking. It was like hairy as fuck, and I had a bunch of deodorant. And I was so embarrassed. I was like, "What?" I wouldn't pee myself. My brother was a dick, bro.
What did you do? Did you like go shave it off?
I was just so embarrassed. Yeah, the next day I was like,
Damn, that's sad. You know, it's just fucked up because a boy did that to you, man.
Dude, yeah.
Oh my god.
See, guys don't have to go through shaving their armpits, shaving their legs. It's kind
I
of like,
was
bro, I
always
have
so
a
jealous.
mustache now, huh?
Oh
And I was just like, oh my god.
Or even now, like when you have it, when you don't, it like, why is that a thing? Like, why is that a comment? Like, why are you gonna comment me not like? Not
Why do we
shaving?
have to
Like,
be
let me not
hairless?
shave?
I know.
Yeah.
I honestly think it has to go back to the idea of like, I don't know. I feel like men just be fetishizing over young women and like being. They just want you to look very childlike. Cause like,
Ew.
you know, when you're
Yeah.
older and you go through puberty, we have hair. Like, why do we have to
Yeah.
look like little girls to be sexy? Like,
Mm.
why do I have
Why
to
they
be
put it
hairless
that
like
way?
a little girl to be sexy?
Yeah.
Like, why do we have to shave our armpits, shave our legs, shave everything to be sexy?
Yeah, I feel like also if you have like hair, it's seen to be like dirty. I think.
Like your poor hygiene.
Even though it's something
We
that
should
naturally
normalize
grows out
that.
of our body, it's like, what am I supposed to do
Yeah.
with that? You know? I mean, I like the feeling of being soft, especially
I
when
mean,
you're in your
yeah, I
sheets.
like it.
Same.
I feel like a
But like I
brand new
like not
woman.
shaving too.
Actually,
I like
remember
not
our no
worrying
shave
about it.
Novembers?
Dude, that's what I was thinking of. Y'all. Oh my god.
Me and Ashley would not shave
Angie.
her legs in high school during November because we're like, shit, me too. Yup.
They're
The
so
boys'
thick
play
and
is I wanna play
so
this.
long.
Yeah. I
And
remember we would compare.
lasers.
We'd see who's got longer. Dang, I haven't done that in a long time.
I get laser now, so that's been a lot.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to do
Yeah,
that.
Me too.
How many months have you been doing it?
So I'm on my 6th or 7th session. I had done it a couple years ago, but I didn't finish the treatment all the way, so they grew back. I do upper lip, underarm, and Brazilian. And the cool thing about Brazilian that I didn't know about, they like do your butt crack and everything, which is like super interesting. So they'll be like all up in there. And
Why are you gonna say it like that?
They go all up in there.
dude, it's so funny because I remember like no one really. They're just like, oh yeah, they do. I didn't know how like they. I just remember they're like,
Yeah.
okay, like you could take off your clothes now. And I was like you're. And I remember me awkwardly taking off my underwear, and then she's like doing like she makes you do like butterfly, so you're like butterfly, and she's like she'll like kind of pull on like the edge of like your inner thigh, so that way she gets like the inner flap, and then the inner labia, and then I remember she's like, okay, you could turn around now, and I was like, what? She's like, turn around and like spread your cheeks, and I was like, what? What? And then I remember it just she just like zapping my butt crack, but it's a great. I mean, I really like it because I don't really grow back hair and I don't have to deal with razor bumps. I used to get really bad razor
I
ingrown
remember
hairs
that.
and have to like pop it with
A needle.
tweezers or pull out the hair. I got a really bad ingrown on my armpit. I almost had to get surgery. Like I freaking had the worst experience with puberty in general.
You need to
bro.
put us on that.
No, dude, and so if anybody who is listening to this and lives in SoCal, I go to Flawless Laser Center in Burbank. I pay for all the 3 services per session. I pay like $65 to $75 every time I go, and I go like every 6 weeks or so. And you only have to go to finish your treatment, and after that you just go like once a year type of thing. And the treatments depend on how thick your hair is, all personalized to you. So some people go for 6 times, some people go 10 times. It just depends on your thickness and your hair growth cycle, but it's cheaper than getting, and I work at a waxing center. I hope I don't get in trouble for this, but and they pay, it's like $60 to do a Brazilian wax. And so that's more expensive, and you're gonna have to continuously do a Brazilian for like ever, and then waxing eventually just goes away, you know. I mean, laser eventually just goes away. So, but I also don't know the cons and the risks of laser, so I probably shouldn't be promoting it without like really knowing. Just do your research before you go.
Alrighty, this brings us to our Discover Her segment. And I wanted to ask you ladies, what would you tell your younger self about puberty?
I would definitely tell my younger self that it is okay to ask and it is not taboo and it is normal and you are not alone and everything will be okay. You just need to ask questions.
Yeah, I think piggyback off of what Dana was saying is literally the same thing. Is that like we all have bodies. We're all women, and we're all going through these experiences. So it's not like your person next to you doesn't know what you're going through. So don't be scared, and it's all natural. It's not a weird thing that you have blood coming out of your vagina.
Yeah. I would agree. I would tell myself that everything is natural, everything is normal. Just because your situation might not look like the person next to you, that doesn't make yours or their puberty story any less important. Continue to have conversations about it. Don't be ashamed, and own it.
Yeah.
Own it. You're okay.
I was so insecure about it when I first got it when I was like 10 years old. So I would tell myself to show off that armpit hair, or
Yes.
or don't be afraid that you're gonna be opening that pad in the restroom when there's somebody next to you in that stall. Open it up with pride.
Yeah.
And the more that you start to do it, hopefully people slowly, little by little, that stigma will go away. So it starts with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you learn along the way, and you're gonna know what works best for you and what doesn't. Alrighty, thanks for joining us today. For more content, head over to our Instagram at Girls We Go Podcast, and also our YouTube channel at Girls We Go Podcast. We hope y'all enjoy your dose of growth for today, and remember to always strive for growth.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
See you next Tuesday.
7 a.m.